Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a good Friday, wherever you are around the world. And welcome back to a bit of a breaking news episode, of course. Obviously, we're going to discuss, what has happened today. And that is, of course, Liverpool have submitted a €130 million bid for Florian Wirtz, of course, obviously by Leverkusen. Haven't yet accepted it yet. But look, we'll have to wait and see what happens anyway. And my eye is absolutely killing. But how are we, chat? Hopefully all of you are good. Of course, we're going to discuss all of the news that has broke over the last couple of hours. Of course, speaking on the Florian Wirtz stuff, and of course, it's going to be a very interesting day or two, I would say, of course. But again, Liverpool have officially submitted a €130 million bid to Florian Wirtz, of course. And again, it's exciting times. Obviously, the signing of Jeremy Frimpong, and now getting, in my eyes, an absolute superstar in Florian Wirtz. And of course, Liverpool have fully shown their intention. Of course, already this summer window. But again, look, it's only just begun. We're not done as of yet. Anyway, but hello, Luke. Hopefully doing well. Tassos was saying evening, mate. Big up John was saying hi. Thoughts on Chiesa being linked on loan to Napoli? I've not seen anything on that, but again, we'll have to wait and see. Really, but again, it does show intentment from Liverpool and getting, but putting this deal through, or trying to get it done. Of course, obviously, it looks like it is just just a matter of little details, really, with the Florian Wirtz stuff, because again, of course, with these types of deals, it does take time. I know a lot of people straight away, I think over the last week, have been like, oh, why aren't Liverpool getting it done? Why is it not finished yet? Blah, blah, blah. Like, come on. Like, really, it's not like a FIFA type thing where, again, it just automatically happens overnight, unless, of course, it is the transfer deadline day. But still, Liverpool will get this done as well. And look, I do think it's a very, very good deal for Liverpool anyway. And then look, we'll have to we'll look at it years to come and go, look, this is a phenomenal signing as well. But the big up fellas was saying we'll win the league for the next 5 years. Bye bye Man United. Yeah, true. As well. Hope you're doing well, mate. Anyway, but we will get into the article piece then from David Ornstein. Now, as you guys can see below, it says Liverpool submit €130 million transfer offer for Florian Wirtz. It does go on to say that Liverpool have submitted an offer to sign Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen worth €130 million, which of course is 109 million in total. As it does say, but it is said by sources, previous to the situation, speaking anonymously to protect relationships to be improved second bid from the newly Premier League champions. The proposal figure is a top-end amount compressed of guaranteed fee and potential add-ons. Wirtz, 22, has emerged as a key target for Liverpool, and the German international playmaker is keen on the move to Anfield. The Athletic reported on May 23rd that Liverpool have opened talks with Leverkusen over the possible signing of Wirtz. Communication between the clubs have already been obviously together with Jeremy Frimpong since obviously him making his move to Anfield. Wirtz was also a target by Bayern Munich, although the German champions were informed earlier this month his preference to move to Liverpool. He has already visited the northwest of England to take a look at houses to live in should the deal proceed. Liverpool proceed. The German international Leverkusen's contract runs out until 2027, last signed in 2022. And again, that goes, and it would absolutely smash Liverpool's obviously record fee at the minute. Darwin Núñez is the record fee at the moment for Liverpool. Currently at £85 million, which again isn't great. Obviously match. I think that's million euros to be fair. Obviously Virgil van Dijk is up there as well. So again, he would completely come in and absolutely smash that record for Liverpool, of course. But I think one thing to consider is, of course, it's lower than the Moises Caicedo deal as well, so it's not going to be a complete record in that sense. It will be Liverpool's record transfer fee, which again, I think it is great, but it's not entirely a complete done thing, really, in terms of, a whole Premier League or an English football record fee. Anyway, of course, when you look at 130 million euros, again, it kind of puts that perspective of, oh, it's huge. But I think, of course, the Moises Caicedo deal was outrageous, and really, when you look at it, it was 110 million pounds as well. But look, it's a great step, of course, in the development of it, because again, you've got the likes of Melissa Reddy as well saying the discussions in Germany is about when, not if, the Florian Wirtz deal is completed. Of course, Florian Wirtz went to the Germany camp today, and it kind of does look like his medical will be at the German national side as well. It doesn't look like it's, he's going to fly to Merseyside to have a medical. It looks like obviously the medical department will go out to Germany to do that, because again, I do think we will have a here we go over the next 24 hours, really. Again, the news of that bid coming in and other bits and pieces, I do think it is a pretty much a done deal, in terms of, we're getting close to it. Of course, it's not a done deal as of yet, because again, we know in football, and until he's in the shirt, it's not necessarily a done deal, then, I say. But again, as I said, looking by here now, and Jason Burt as well saying sources suggest that Leverkusen are now happy with the fee being offered by Liverpool, which includes add-ons, and the process negotiations are how the payments will be made. It's expected the add-ons won't be too hard and include qualifying in the Champions League. So realistically, Liverpool, that's already going to happen. More or less, because again, you do expect Liverpool to be in the Champions League next season, or qualify for the Champions League next season. Anyway, because look, realistically, Liverpool are looking to maintain and retain the Premier League trophy. We're not looking at, just staying inside the top four. This is a signing of intentment, and really, because that's what Liverpool are at the moment. Liverpool are trying to maintain the Premier League and not let anyone else have it for the next couple of seasons. And Florian Wirtz does do that, really, doesn't he? He does. It does automatically become, a conversation of, look, he is going to be signed, and he's going to be a part of the team that is going to hopefully go on and challenge for the next couple of seasons. While you've got Mo Salah here, while you've got Virgil van Dijk still here as well. Like, Liverpool are once again showing real intentment of maintaining that level and maintaining the gap as well, because I think obviously one thing to consider as well, I think, really, is the fact that I think you look at I said it earlier on in the Frimpong video, Liverpool really took a real eye at PSG and the way they play. Now, of course, you look at that team and you kind of look at the front three. Of course, our front three, you would suggest Liverpool needs a striker, of course, but Florian Wirtz does offer you that false nine role if you want to play it sometimes. I think in certain games, I think we will end up seeing it, possibly, where you do see Dominic Szoboszlai and you also see and Florian Wirtz in a double 10. But I also look at it and go, Liverpool, again, we cannot sign this summer probably the striker Liverpool wants, in terms of Julian Alvarez or Alexander Isak. Of course, you look at the market, the names, of course, Victor Gyökeres, obviously Hugo Ekitike, Benjamin Sesko, of course, is there. These are the names that are flying about at the moment. And again, I wonder if Liverpool are just not happy that, to kind of get one of those and, then maybe look for one of the other, one of the elite strikers then it may be next summer. But I think you could keep even Darwin Núñez, and adding Florian Wirtz to that, again, would automatically give you more goals and more assists. But I think, look, you could sign an Ekitike, and that's going to be okay for you, because again, you've got so much quality behind you in terms of Florian Wirtz, Mo Salah, Luis Diaz, or Cody Gakpo. You've got McAllister as well, also adding goals and assists to that as well. So again, Liverpool have got tons of quality, behind behind Wirtz already, and also adding Wirtz, who again, last season got, what was it, 10 plus goals, 10 plus assists in the Bundesliga alone. So again, he'll add, he's going to add plenty to Liverpool. And I said it earlier on, that for me, he walks into the Premier League and becomes the best 10 in the league now, because Kevin De Bruyne's not, no longer going to be here. Odegaard or Wirtz, I think Wirtz is better, in my opinion. I'm just trying to think of other 10s. You kind of got Eze, you've got obviously Dom Szoboszlai, but I think Wirtz is better than Dom, unfortunately, or fortunately for us, really. But yeah, I personally would say, I think he walks into the league and becomes the best 10 in the league. I know people straight away go, oh, Cole Palmer. No, like Florian Wirtz is, for me, the best, or would easily walk in and become the best, in my opinion. Anyway, I know people may disagree with that. That's completely fine. But for me, I do think Florian Wirtz is outstanding. I really, really do. Anyway, I'm just double checking if there's any different news as well. Anyway, but look, Jesus Christ, I've just seen somebody edit Jeremy Frimpong for that corner, taking it quickly. Taken quickly. Anyway, but look, again, with Wirtz as well. Now, Florian Plintenberg as well also added an hour ago, saying that an agreement between Leverkusen and Liverpool is said to be just a matter of days now. There's also talk of a Liverpool player who could potentially be included. Wirtz is waiting for the green light to undergo his medical. So obviously that player, you would probably assume it's maybe Harvey Elliott. We could even be, a Jarell Konza potentially as well, of course, whether or not, Eric Ten Hag wants, a certain player from Liverpool. Be interesting, really, to see. But I think for me, I would be surprised if if it took until like the late next week to get the deal done. Really, I would be surprised in that aspect of things anyway. But even still, you've got Paul Joyce as well also adding to it, saying again, Manchester City obviously wanted Florian Wirtz. And again, Paul Joyce, as I'm looking by here now, Paul Joyce, Florian Wirtz was not keen, on a move to Manchester City. Of course, because again, the whole Man City PR thing for Florian Wirtz was, oh no, we're going to pull out because the deal makes no sense. And I think everyone at the time was kind of like, no, that's bullshit, really. Excuse my language, but it just isn't true. The fact that Manchester City, can't afford him. We've seen over the years where, Manchester City have spent, even in January, with them spending 200+ million on 4 players. And of course, did the signing of Omar Mamouche derail their chances in getting, Florian Wirtz? I don't think it did, but I think for him, again, judging from the reports and judging from what Paul Joyce said earlier, it does feel like that maybe Wirtz looked at it and gone, do I want to play there, really, or kind of how, or do we really want to miss that opportunity and go towards Liverpool? Because again, we know this now in terms of, again, Florian Wirtz was very impressed by how Liverpool played Leverkusen in the Champions League, and how that was a real eye-opener for him in terms of, again, he may want to leave the Bundesliga and look at the Premier League, and Liverpool, by the looks of it, was the only club he wanted to join, in that sense, which again, it goes to show really, how Arne Slot, sold in the pitch, really, because again, Arne Slot has been a huge factor in convincing Florian Wirtz to join Liverpool, through his tactical analysis in terms of, again, him showing him realistically where he's going to be playing and how he'll be playing him next season onwards as well. And again, the fact that Liverpool, Frimpong's already confirmed, Wirtz hopefully will get done in the next 24 to 48 hours. And again, Milos Kerkez as well, adding these 3 massively improves Liverpool. It does, it easily does. And you already look at it, on an attacking side of things, like Liverpool become one of the most attacking teams in Europe. We already are, but adding them 3 players in, just doubles it, really. And in my opinion, I think it does. I really do think it does add another element to this Liverpool team where kind of maybe you looked at it, past what this season where you looked at it and gone, okay, that's maybe a weakness because again, Liverpool need a striker, and of course we do need a striker. I wouldn't say, Liverpool need to again maybe have a summer off. Really, again, I think Liverpool absolutely do need a striker, and hopefully we'll address that this summer. But I think, of course, adding a world class number 10 in Florian Wirtz, because he is a world class number 10. Let's not take this into any miscontext or whatever. Like again, Liverpool normally sign the player that will become the superstar. Alisson Becker was on his way to do that. His last season at Roma, 100% was definitely on his way to become one of the best goalkeepers, if not, he is the best goalkeeper in the world and has been for some time. Virgil van Dijk as well. Everybody knew in the Premier League, he had another level to go, but I don't think anybody really understood how good Virgil van Dijk could become. But with Wirtz, it's different. I've said it over the last couple of days. The only signing, in my opinion, that you could claim there was a world-class signing at the time, or world-class player at the time, was Thiago. Because for me, apart from Kevin De Bruyne, the summer the window that we signed Thiago, only Kevin De Bruyne, in my opinion, was a better midfielder at that time. With Wirtz, now you look at number 10s in world football, and again, Wirtz is in the conversation with Jamal Musiala. Again, obviously Jude Bellingham's name's in that conversation, but again, Jude's not really a 10 as well. But Desiree Doué is in that list now because of PSG. And again, Wirtz and Musiala, in my opinion, is a very good comparison between the two because they are very similar players. But in terms of providing goals, or based on stats, Wirtz is a lot better. And just judging from the stats from the last two seasons. But again, they're very good and very elite footballers. And for Liverpool to actually go and get this type of player, for me, just shows intent. And look, people will go, and that's the thing, people towards the end of the transfer deadline day will turn and go, oh, why aren't Liverpool doing anything? Look, Liverpool are trying to get everything done now. They're trying to get it done before July, really, before pre-season's even a conversation starter. Look, Liverpool are hopefully going to get their business done ASAP. And that's a good thing, really, to get everyone in the door as well anyway. But the man is in German camp, so it's a waiting game. Yeah, exactly. As soon as the deal is agreed, Liverpool will have a medical done. I'm pretty much guaranteed of that. Tally Albin, it's Wirtz, baby. I got a feeling that one of the two strikers, Gyökeres or Alvarez, will end up at Liverpool instead of Ekitike, says Gerson. It'll be interesting because if the rumors are true with Gyökeres and his agent, then Gyökeres isn't going anywhere this summer. The whole reports are that again he wants over 200 plus £1,000 per week. It's never going to happen. And yeah, the only place it will happen is Manchester United, which again let them have them anyway. But I think in terms of Liverpool, it's really a question for the chat of, and again, if anyone is watching, then who would you rather? Would you rather Ekitike, Victor Gyökeres, or I don't know who's the another name we could name? Or just them two. Who would you rather, Ekitike or Gyökeres? I think it might be 50-50 in the chat. But I don't know whether or not. Well, again, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. But the striker issue needs to be addressed. I would agree. Wirtz, very good player. He is a brilliant player. And he is as well. The striker issue needs to be sorted. A double swoop for Ekitike and Gyökeres is a statement. We won't be doing that. Pep Linders, the Manchester City. One absolute sausage he is, says Carl. Yeah. Rat. we just got off the end of calling Trent a rat. Pep Linders rat? Question mark. Yeah, a bit surprised by that, really. I know I don't know whether if anyone else is, to be fair, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit surprised that he's gone there. I I personally did see I did see him potentially being, there or thereabouts. Or I didn't see him there going there, to be fair, but of course, he wanted management. He wanted to be, well, in football management to begin with, but look, it didn't work out too great at Salzburg. Of course, is that his fault? Yes, because look, he bought people like Bobby Clark, who, by the looks of things, it wasn't really a Salzburg signing. It was very much a Pep Linders signing. And that hasn't worked out well, unfortunately, because again, I kind of like Bobby Clark at Liverpool. But still, like, for me, I think um, but hello, Cola. It says Ekatike Hugo is the best. What do you mean Hugo Ekatike, not Ekatike Hugo, as well? But no, it's he is a decent player. Gary says the data says Ekatike. Carl says I think it makes sense because I think with Kevin De Bruyne leaving, he has left. I think Guardiola maybe wants more heavy metal football. Well, the thing is, like, I've seen a couple of people now say that, oh, maybe like Pep has brought him in to give secrets away to Liverpool, but we don't play the same football that we did 12 plus months ago under Jurgen Klopp. Like, we play completely different. We set up completely different. It's not like we turn around and go, oh yeah, we're going to play the exact same football. We play different football now. Like, at the end of the day, it makes no sense to play the same type of football. But look, each to their own, really. But look, we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, but look, with the whole vert stuff, I'm very excited for what we do. Also, moving forward with other transfers, because I still think Liverpool are, look, the Kurtz stuff that will be coming, done or getting done very quickly. I also think, with the whole striker situation, I think we could be in with a surprise there as well. But not only that, I think, I do think still Liverpool might sign a midfielder this summer. Still rumors going around about Adam Wharton going around at the moment as well. So there is definitely something that Liverpool have just looked at this summer and gone, yeah, we're going to go and sign the best possible players available. And we don't care how much they cost, really. But again, obviously that does come with a pinch of salt because, again, look, Liverpool they're looking at top quality players, but they're also looking at players that, again, unfortunately are not available, really. But again, it'd be interesting. Gotta say, we don't play the Klopp way now. No, we don't. We play the Arnie Slot way. That wins again. Has won you a league title. But it's worrying to me how skinny Wirtz is. He'll get bullied a lot in the Prem. I don't think so. Personally, I know obviously people going about the physicality level, but I think he'd be fine. To be fair, I think once Liverpool get hold of him as well, I think he'd be completely fine. The Liverpool go back to 4-3-3. We already play that, really. It's just a different variation. Again, 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3. Again, I think Arne Slot was it this time last year was like, no, like we play or like I like to play multiple combinations, really. So yeah, look, Liverpool will play 4-3-3 at times, and we'll play 4-2-3-1. But no, I think we mainly stay to a 4-2-3-1 now, because again, the introduction diverts. Again, that alone really, for me at least, screams the fact that we will but keep that formation, because he is a 10. Again, Wirtz can play on the left, can play as a 10, can play as an 8 if we wanted him to, could even play as a false 9. But that's the thing, like, there's so many different ways that we can play now with Florian Wirtz. It's the same with Dom Szoboszlai. Like, again, Szoboszlai can play on the left. Like, even some games we could even see Szoboszlai playing, left attacking midfielder. We could play, play Wirtz as a centre, AM really. Again, there's so many different combinations Liverpool can do now. That's again an unpredictability that Liverpool have going into next season for sure. But have you seen his defensive stats? They aren't very good. He doesn't track back a lot. I've not seen too much of that really. I will quickly have a look. But again, do we need him to track back really? In many ways. Hang on a minute. Let me take a look at defensive stats on FBref. Who am I looking at? Florian Wirtz. Again, because it's attacking output just completely outweigh, and that's the thing. We are going to be just full. I say heavy metal football. We're not going to be full heavy metal football, but it is going to be very attacking next season for sure. But yeah, to be fair, when you look at it, looking at it now, interceptions 0.41 per 90, tackles 0.32. Like they are very. That's probably pretty much the standard for an attacking midfielder. To be fair, because again, even blocks, he's up there in the top 84 percentile as well. So they're all right. They're not obviously massively impressive for defensive numbers, but they're still pretty decent. To be fair, but again, we'll have to wait and hope anyway. And obviously look at him more. Obviously, we'll look at him more closely when we in the next couple of weeks. But under slot, we've played loads of formations. Have you seen we in for Edison from Atalanta? No. Is that any news really? Hang on a minute, chat. I haven't seen anything. I also say that, man. I also think Twitter's down. Hang on a minute. Is X working? No, it's not. But still, I haven't seen anything on Edison. Really, I think Edison might even go Man United, if I'm being honest. Would you push Mac further forward? No. McAllister's perfect where he is. Would you take him if he would be interested to come in? No, I wouldn't really. I don't think he's really I don't think he's the six for us. I think we're kind of looking at a dynamic six, and we have been for a while. Like, let's be honest, like Liverpool have very much been looking for some time for a dynamic number six, which I'm not gonna lie, the scream out candidate is Adam Wharton. Adam Wharton, Belieber as well. As just seen LB put in as well. Yeah, Adam Wharton, Belieber, and Cal, sorry, put in. But yeah, I do look at it, and it would be one of them two, Belieber, Adam Wharton. Like Adam Wharton for me, I think would be brilliant business from Liverpool if they could get that done. But that's a massive if, because again, he's going to cost you 60, 70, 80 million pounds. Because again, Palace don't need to sell. I think that's the thing though as well. Like, I've seen Spurs fans going about Eze, for example, because Eze is a Spurs fan. That's been well documented, I think, over the last couple of weeks. Since they won the FA Cup, I think it's been very much documented. But of course, Spurs getting Champions League football, it looks like they want to go and sign Eze as well. But it's not going to be cheap for them. Like, even though he is a Spurs fan, he'll probably be pushing for the move as well if Spurs are interested. But they're not going to make it easy for him. Like, look, Palace don't have to sell anybody now. They've got European football. They've got Europa League football. Of course, Glasner as well, is very accustomed to win that tournament. He won it with Frankfurt. So again, he knows what to do in that tournament. He knows to go, deep into the competition and go on to win it. So again, if Palace were to keep the majority of the players and also add to that team as well, again, they don't want to. Again, they would most likely want to keep Wharton, Eze, these types of players to again add and improve on and obviously progress even more. Could you imagine if Crystal Palace won the Europa League? West Ham got to a European semi-final. Well, I say European. Obviously, got to a Europa League semi-final. They ended up winning the Conference League as well. So again, it's possible. It's entirely possible for these teams to go on and do it as well. But Of course, would I love Adam Wharton? Absolutely, I would. People say Shirky is lazy, but his defensive stats are better than Wirtz. The one thing I would say the differences between that is Shirky plays he plays on the right as well. He plays as a 10 and plays on the right. So again, his defensive stats might be a bit better. Because of course Shirky is going to go to City, I believe, as well. So I have to wait and see. Edison isn't aren't Enter Destroyer. We need Believer or Wharton. Yeah, I would agree with that. I wish we got Reinders. We'd have so much Dutch connection as well. To be fair, it is a very good signing from City, but I kind of look at Reinders and he's not a 10. I don't get that twisted, by the way. He's a very good footballer, but he's definitely not a 10. Like, he's definitely a what McAllister is to us, really. He can play up and down. He's a very good box-to-box midfielder. Again, more attacking side, of course, but again, he is a very, very good midfielder. And it's, if Rodri comes back better, or obviously comes back pretty much the same player from that bad knee injury, yeah, like again, City will be up there again. This is why, again, I think Liverpool, we've added already, Frimpong coming in. Obviously, we're trying with Florian Wirtz. Kirkez as well, for me, was the best left back in the Prem last season. Like, Liverpool have added quality now. City will add quality. They've already got quality, and obviously they've got Ruben Diaz, they've got Rodri, they've got Haaland. Omar Mamouche will get better. I'm not putting Foden in the conversation because Foden's had an absolute stinker the last 12 months. But again, that midfield of Rodri, Reinders, and Shirky is a very good midfield. It's a very, very good midfield. And again, it will compete with this Liverpool midfield. But for me, for how many years City's midfield has been good, I look at both. Say if that is the two midfields. Say if our midfield is Wirtz, McAllister, Gravenberch, and their midfield is Reinders, Rodri, and Jerky. I think our midfield is better, personally, because I think in our midfield we have two world-class players in there. I think for City they have one in that category. I think Rodri, again, is outstanding. Of course, he is the best DM in world football. Of course, when fit. But I think for Liverpool, I think Florian Wirtz is world class, and I think that Alexis McAllister is also world class as well. So for me, I think, again, very competitive two midfields, but I think our midfield is better as well. But Reinders would be perfect, says LB. We can't let City get Reinders. Him and Rodri and Shirky in front is pretty damn good. It is good, but I think our midfield's better. We'll play next to Rodri. He'll be box to box. Yeah, absolutely. If I'm honest, this city without Kevin De Bruyne don't scare me anymore. Oh, no, they don't. Again, Kevin De Bruyne was amazing for them. He was easily the best midfielder in the Premier League up until maybe a year ago, where, of course, with his injuries. But again, what a threat he is. Wirtz is in world class, yet he's very young. He's world class. He is world class. This is a world class signing for Liverpool for sure. LB, I think, like him, Musiala, like them two are in the top. Very, very top in terms of tens in Europe. Again, like the thing is, Wirtz comes into the Premier League, and he is in the top 5 players in the Premier League. He is. You got Mo Salah. You got. If you look at the Premier League, you've got Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk are 1 and 2, in my opinion. Third, again, Haaland. You could put a third. Fourth, again, who do you put fourth, really? Because I'm trying to not be biased. I would put Alexis McAllister, to be fair, but Wirtz world class. He's coming and probably be top set. You don't think Florian Wirtz is world class? What are we talking about by your chat? Like, you genuinely don't think Florian Wirtz is world class? Somebody who, again, everyone in Europe wanted, and Liverpool are about to get him. And in fact, in his position, in the 10 position, he is like him, Musiala. could you class Pedri in the top 10? I think he's world class. Oh, there you go. Oh, you're laughing that it isn't world class. Okay, I was about to say. Wirtz isn't world class yet. He's not done it for long enough. He's done it for 2 seasons. To be fair, is that not enough years? No. Sorry, Cal. Well, I seen it and then didn't see the laugh emoji, so I do apologize. But no, look, again, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Like, again, I don't think Cole Palmer's that good. No, I'm joking. But to be fair, I would 100% agree with that. I would agree with that because I also think, like, in the Premier League, like, if you go through, let's go through the top 4 teams. For Liverpool, I think, obviously I'm adding Wirtz to this, so obviously take it with pinch of salt or whatever. But I think world-class players that Liverpool have: Ali, Virgil, Mo, Maka, and Wirtz. I think we have 5 world-class players. And Frimpong. Why not add Frimpong? No, joking. But I think world class, in my opinion, I think them 5 are world class. I think Ali's the best goalkeeper in the world. Virgil van Dijk's the best centre back in the world. Mo Salah's the best right winger in the world in world football. Maka, I think, is in the top 3 or 4 midfielders in the world, in my opinion. And I think Wirtz he's easily top 1, one or 2 10s in the world. I think obviously Musiala is also in that conversation, as well. But apart from that, like, again, I think Ibu is on his way to becoming it as well. Obviously, he still has plenty of years of development. But left back, Kirkes is good, but he's not world class. If we do end up getting him, other midfielders, no, I don't think anyone else is world class. And of course, on the left, I wouldn't consider. I don't think Luis Diaz or Cody Gakpo are world class. They're top class, but they're not world class either. But LB says Messi is world class. That's the standard. Oh, to be fair, nobody's getting up to world class then. To be fair. But look, either way, we'll have to wait and see anyway. But I'm checking to see if there's any more news on the Wirtz situation. What else do we have? We do have more news. There we go. So Paul Joyce, again, has that just come out? Hang on a minute, chat. I'm going to quickly have a look. Yeah, so Paul Joyce has said the significance of Friday's bid for Florian Wirtz should not be underestimated. And while the offer, which obviously equates to 130 million euros and includes add-ons, has not been accepted, there is no sense that the accord will not be reached over the coming days. So again, we'll have to wait and see over the next couple of days anyway for what happens. Anyway, but again, we'll have to wait and see. Where do you think Hato ends up? Chelsea. I think Chelsea, because I think they very much wanted. Obviously, Chelsea very much wanted Dean Huijsen, didn't they? I think we were also in that conversation with Huijsen, of course, and obviously him going to Real Madrid is a bit of a blow, but. Again, I'm not too asked because, again, he wanted Real Madrid. Again, in a couple of years' time, we'd be talking about the same situation about him wanting to go to Real Madrid. And again, I don't want a player that wants to go to Madrid anyway. But no, I think Chelsea might be the club that Hato goes to. For me, I think what he should end up doing, he should stay at Ajax for another year, and then. Again, if he develops even better, especially with Johnny Huijsen now going there as well, I think definitely we could end up seeing. Again, Liverpool's name might be a part of that, but I don't know. I just don't see it at the minute with Hato. I think he needs another year of development, in my opinion, to be able to, again, be a part then of a top club then, really. But I could just see Chelsea just biting the gun now and bidding like 30, 40 million for him and end up getting him, really, anyway. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm going to quickly see if there is any more news on the Florian Wirtz stuff as well. Is there anything else? No. Anyway, but look, I think we're going to leave it there for tonight anyway. Let me quickly read out a few more comments before we do shoot off. What happens if Wirtz gets injured in the German game? Would Liverpool pull out the deal? It would depend on the injury, really. Again, this is why Liverpool need to get it done now, really. But yeah, it would be. I don't think Liverpool would pull out completely, but again, it would be a massive blow then, really, for it. But who's replacing Heitinger? Would you like to see Torres? Well, supposedly it's meant to be Dirk Kuyt coming in, or Dirk Kuyt, whatever you want to pronounce it. But yeah, it's a shame that Johnny Heitinger is going to be leaving as well. I wonder whether or not Liverpool may look at Vinald again. For obviously the assistant that couldn't get a work visa, might be able to get it done this time. But again, we'll have to wait and see. I feel Heitinger felt wrong in himself in red, probably, but he did also manage a game for Liverpool this season. So like at the end of the day, he has a very high ceiling as a manager. Everybody speaks very highly of him. And yeah, I think even Arne Slot had very high, high thoughts of him as well. So again, look, he's going to go to Ajax, and hopefully, for him, he can go on and do something there. Because again, look, they were so close to winning the Eredivisie. They bottled it, really. Let's be honest. So again, we'll have to wait and see on that front anyway. But yeah, if there's any more news on Florian Wirtz, we will be live for it. Apologies, we wasn't live for it earlier. I was out of the house, so I couldn't do anything. Really, it had to be tonight's show anyway. But look, if you are new around here, of course, please do hit that like button, hit the subscribe button as well. We are let me quickly check before I do shoot off. I believe we're like 20 something away from so we are currently, what's that, 16? We're 16 subscribers away from 4K. So if we could get there, be very much appreciated as always. Again, the goal for the season was to get to 2K. Again, we've doubled down, absolutely smashed it this season. So again, thank you very much for all the new people here as well. If you are watching live or watching on the repeat, of course, thank you very much for the support on the channel as always. But yeah, of course, we'll be here all summer long talking about deals and transfers and everything to do with Liverpool Football Club throughout the season anyway. But look, any other bits of news on Florian Wirtz, will be live for it anyway. And yeah, hopefully you guys have a fantastic rest of your nights anyway. Of course, Champions League final tomorrow as well. So that's going to be very exciting. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. I think PSG are going to win, even though I've said all bloody tournament Inter are a dark horse for the Champions League. But I think PSG are going to win because they've been so good this Champions League. Anyway, but that should be good game tomorrow, of course, anyway. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow probably for another episode. But until next time, that's going to be it from me. I've been Connor from the COP Council. I'll see you guys in a bit later on. Ta-ra.